Why the iPhone 7? That's coming up right now. Let's go. This is Nick here from Everything Tech, helping you to master your technology, and welcome to Why iPhone 7. Now, if you've been watching the channel, you would have realized that I did Why iPhone SE about 1 week ago. Or maybe 2. But in this video, we're talking about why iPhone 7. Why is the iPhone 7 a great phone? Why should you buy it? These questions people ask a lot about the iPhone 7. And I want to share 10 points with you in this video why I think the iPhone 7 is a great buy here, even though the iPhone 8 is on the horizon. Number 1 is the size experience. So the size experience is great. You know, if you got a big hand like me, the iPhone 7 easily rests in the palm. If you have smaller, more feminine hands, then you probably, this iPhone 7 definitely might feel like a decently large phone. But at 4.7 inches comparatively to an iPhone 7 Plus, this phone is pretty tiny and probably one of the fastest phones in this 4.5 to 5 inch range on the planet. Actually, it's in the top 3, I think, fastest phones in the world. It might even be number 1 based on the experience I've had with the iPhone 7. This is the 256 gigabyte model. So with all that storage in the background, the 256 gig model just absolutely screams and flies. It's so fast. I mean, so fast. So yeah, size is pretty great here for the iPhone 7. And that's the first reason why I think iPhone 7 is a great buy here, even though the iPhone 8 is on the horizon. That phone might get a bigger screen, might make it a little bit harder to reach the corners, even though they're going to more than likely bring less bezel. If you have a bigger screen, it's more of a reach. It doesn't matter if you have less bezel. If you have a taller screen, more than likely it's going to be more of a reach. Number 2 reason why the iPhone 7 is the performance. Now, we know it does have an A10 CPU, but in real world practice, the iPhone 7 never lags. I mean, this thing is really hard to trip up no matter what you throw at it. I mean, here and there, it does have a stutter from time to time. It's extremely rare. It's like 1% of the time, maybe even less. Like, you almost never ever experience any type of lag here on the Apple iPhone 7. So if you're deciding to use an Apple iPhone 7, this is definitely going to be one of the best performing phones you've ever used. Multitasking is a breeze, and pretty much anything you do on it, it can handle without breaking a sweat. Number 3 is the reliability of the iPhone 7. So this is a phone that, if I'm going out on a trip, I'm going somewhere on the town, I don't need to be bothered by my phone, but I need a reliable experience. 9 times out of 10, I'm grabbing the iPhone 7 because I know I can count on this phone. I know there's no lag. I know the battery is sufficient enough to get me through the night. The iPhone 7 is the phone I'm going with for reliability. It has great call quality as well in the iPhone 7. The battery life is not better than some of the top tier Android phones or even the iPhone 7 Plus, but it's definitely more than enough to get you through a night on the town. So like I say, this is one of the most reliable experiences of any smartphone, and definitely in this size category, and it's one of the reasons why Apple sells millions of these things and continues to do so. Number 4 of why the iPhone 7 is the App Store experience. So this is more of an iOS trait. You can get this on pretty much any iOS device, but the polish of the applications on iOS is just bar none. It's really hard to beat this. Android has more applications, but the level of polish on these applications just isn't felt the same as it is on the iPhone 7. So if you use apps a lot and you care about how those applications look more than, their functionality, you're really going to enjoy the iPhone 7 because the applications on this phone just look so pretty, especially on this P3 display, which is definitely still the same, 326 pixels per inch as found on iPhone 6, as well as, iPhone 6s. But with the P3 technology, the applications do have a little bit more of a saturated look, a little bit more of a punchier color than the previous iPhones. It does look a little bit warmer on the iPhone 7. So the iPhone 7's applications, it's just really easy on the eye. They're very polished and they work well. So I have to put that on the list of why iPhone 7. Oh no, we definitely did not forget about that 4K shooting camera machine on the back of the iPhone 7. That's a 12 megapixel f1.8 aperture camera. And it does have True Tone Flash. I think that's a quad LED, maybe dual. Let's see a little closer. Yeah, it looks like a quad. So definitely a really strong flash on this camera. Actually, a lot of people don't talk about this, but the iPhone 7 has one of the strongest flashlights on any smartphone. I don't hear that much, but that's something to point out here. Also, with the camera, the camera is, not the most in-depth manual tweaking exposure, but if there's a camera on a phone that you want to pull out and just snap a quick picture, the iPhone 7 is hard to beat. And I'm saying that even over the Samsung Galaxy device, because the way it's set up, I feel like anyone can understand it. Even on the Galaxy device is really easy to use as well, but the Galaxy device, you have to dig around into settings a little bit to, tweak the controls a little bit more to get better pictures. With the iPhone 7, everything is set up for everyone to use it here. So if we just pull over, for example, this Apple Pencil right here, and take a picture of that really quickly. You just pull it out, and you just snap pictures all day, hold down the burst, super intuitive. And I did a full camera review on the iPhone 7 where I went around Chicago and took photos on this guy. I will leave that down below in the description area of this video. You could check that out. But the camera is definitely a win, and why iPhone 7 is still a great buy here in mid-2017. So I cannot make another iPhone 7 video without talking about, the storage. So coming in at number 6 is the storage. The storage is just something that, 256 gigs on a smartphone, that's incredible for internal flash storage. So what that means is that you don't have to get a micro SD card, and a lot of people will say, well, the micro SD card expansion makes a limited storage. Most people, I'm not going to say 9, maybe 7 out of 10 people will never use 100, even 28 gigs even on their smartphone before they upgrade to their next phone. So 256 gigabytes is definitely great for those people who are going to be keeping their phone 2, 3, 4, 5 years at a time. And a lot of people do not know this, but the 256 gigabyte model is the fastest file transfer iPhone that you can buy, meaning that if you're transferring photos from your iPhone to your computer, it just rockets through that faster than any other iPhone on the 256 gigabyte. Little fun fact for you guys to know right there. But definitely storage is a win here for your iPhone 7, and why the iPhone 7 is still a great buy. Definitely we're talking about the larger storage options here, not the 32 gig. Number 7 is the battery life. So a lot of people complain that these smaller iPhones don't have the best battery life in the world, but if you do some battery tweaking optimization such as background app refresh, and let me know if you want to see a video on how to save the most battery life ever on an iPhone, we will consider putting that into the schedule, or aka the schedule. But the battery life is decently strong here. You can get 4 to 5 hours on screen time, which I think is plenty enough for most people. So I'm calling the iPhone 7 a 9 in the morning to 7 p.m. phone. That's the use I would have on the iPhone 7. I'm charging it about 7 p.m. if I'm heavy using it. If I'm light using it, I'm getting through the day, leaving the end of the day with about 10 to 15%. So the iPhone 7 for a small phone, this fast, definitely an all-day phone if you're not beating on it with heavy usage. So yeah, pretty good stuff there for the battery life. And with the low battery power mode, which is easily accessible through 3D Touch, you can definitely extend it at least 1 hour on the battery life here for the iPhone 7. Number 8 is the Taptic engine that is actually included right here behind the glass right here. This is why they removed the 3.5 millimeter headset jack, or at least they claim, is to fit in that Taptic engine. And this is something that, when you're looking at an iPhone through a YouTube video, you cannot really feel this because it's a feel thing. When you go ahead and scroll down with the notification bar, there's a subtle vibration in the phone here, as well as, through different elements throughout the user interface. Also, 3D Touch feels a little bit better with that Taptic engine. It's got this very nice polish to it, and the feel of it just feels very, high end. It feels premium when you feel that subtle vibration. It kind of reminds me of the Android keyboard when you're typing on the keyboard and it makes that vibration. It kind of does that on the iPhone 7, but it's felt through various UI elements, so it's felt more often than when just typing like on an Android device. So definitely the Taptic engine and 3D Touch is another reason why I think the iPhone 7 is a win here. And the 3D Touch does feel smoother on an iPhone 7 than it does on a 6S series. Number 9, why the iPhone 7, is the audio experience. The dual channel audio, so it comes out of the speaker grill up here, or the headphone piece, and the speaker down here. So let's play in a little example here, and you can see just how loud the iPhone 7 really gets here. Let's go ahead and play my Galaxy S8 Plus unboxing video, which we did about a week ago. Review on that coming soon. Still working on that bad boy. And let's wait on this ad really quickly.
Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus unboxings and first impressions coming up right now. Let's go.
So you can see definitely a strong experience there in terms of the speakers. Very easy to hear, and this is a great phone for when you're hanging out with your friends, or you're hanging out with someone, or you're with the family, whatever, and you're like, guys, listen to this song I just got on my phone, and you start rocking out. You start jamming out because you got the speakers firing from the front straight out into the air. So definitely a great feature there in the audio for the iPhone 7. And last but not least is the IP67 dust and water resistance. So definitely not, proof. You could take some water, you could drop this thing in the toilet and it's gonna be fine. You could take it in the shower and text people, it'll be fine. I don't recommend that, as I heard that somebody got electrocuted by playing with their iPhone in their shower and died. I heard about that a couple weeks ago, so I wouldn't recommend you guys go playing with your iPhone 7 in the shower, but theoretically, you probably would be fine. But hey, I didn't say it, so you guys, if you do that, you're totally responsible, 100% responsible for that. So I'm just saying, the iPhone 7 does have pretty good resistance, and you don't get dust in the screen, and you definitely don't get, water damage easily on the iPhone 7. So that is a huge, update for the iPhone 7, I think, because my sister just hit me up the other day. She said, I got an iPhone SE. And you know what? I got water damage. Do you got any phones I could use? And I'm like, let me see what I could do for you. But if she had an iPhone 7, this wouldn't have happened. So definitely IP67 water resistance is a great feature here for the iPhone 7. Anyway, that's why iPhone 7. What are your reasons why iPhone 7? You absolutely don't like this phone? Are you like, you know what, Nick? Forget the iPhone 7. 3.5mm headset jack. I need my jack. Apple better bring it back, or I'm going to Sammy Boy, or I'm going to Huawei, or I'm going to LG, or do you love the iPhone 7? Do you have an iPhone 7? Let's comment about that down below in the comment section of the video. Let's chat about this one. Anyway, more content coming soon. Subscribe to the channel for more tech videos like this. If you enjoyed the video, click the like button for me. Nick here, help you to master your technology. Be sure to be well, and peace.